Call the meeting order. Good afternoon, everyone. We'll have a quick report out from our closed session.
Okay, thank you. The board has directed General Counsel to finalize negotiations for an executive director contract to be brought back at a January 31st meeting that will be continued from this meeting adjourned at the end.
Thank you.
Thank you, Counsel. And we will therefore place that on the agenda for the 31st as a specific item. We want to make sure we come back with a public discussion and approval. So we'll do that. I don't have any requests to address us, but certainly now is the time. We didn't get to do the pledge, that's right. So please join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At Santa Clara, we usually do it when we open before we go into closed session, so I always miss that one, but we're back to the public comment. I have no request for public comment, but anyone that wants to address us on any issue not on the agenda, now's the time, and you're welcome to do so. Please come forth, state your name, or make a request from Claudia and fill out a card. As I mentioned before, at any of the items that are on, you're welcome to do that. So having no request from the public, we'll move right along then to approval of the minutes of December 20th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I second.
Any questions? Those for motion say aye.
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 Opposed say no. I'll take a motion on the minutes of December 20th. Oh, no, we did it. Okay. Thought we had two, but
We do,
we have a special meeting, right?
yes. Right.
Yeah. The motion was approved both. Yeah.
Oh, got it, okay. All right, consent calendar, we have none. Discussion items, consider passing a resolution authorizing award of contract to Bentley Systems Incorporated. This is an item we had on the last agenda. We had approved it coming back, and now we have it on the agenda, and we have the background information on it. Jill?
We have our IT manager, Harry Sue,
Great.
here to give a presentation.
Afternoon, Harry.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. See if we can get the presentation up. Okay, good. Let's go to the first slide. So the action before you is to authorize the executive director to negotiate and execute a sole source agreement with Bentley Systems for their project-wise software system, including an initial contract amount of $150,000 and a not to exceed $230,000 over 5 years to meet evolving needs, which I will describe shortly. By way of background, document management systems helps organizations manage documents electronically. In engineering, this type of software helps engineers store and retrieve files securely. It facilitates internal and external information sharing and collaboration. It also allows you to create and manage documents from draft stage to final stage and implement engineering workflows such as review and approvals of various engineering deliverables. You can also assign and track document issues to expedite resolution, and you can also create performance dashboards to allow you to monitor the effectiveness of the document lifecycle, such as how long it took a deliverable engineering document to be created and be taken to final form. ProjectWise is an engineering document management system package from Bentley Systems, which is an American-based software company. It's an industry-leading product that allows engineers, staff, and consultants to collaborate on the cloud using mobile phones, tablets, laptops, and workstations. And the engineering project documents are created and permanently stored in this system. This system serves numerous stakeholders in addition to the DCA. So I want to point out that it also serves the needs of the Delta Conveyance Office, the DWR, various member agencies, internal and external. It also serves the engineering firms and their subcontractors. So it's a wide-reaching system. The rationale for a sole source approach is actually threefold. Number one, ProjectWise is only sold via a manufacturer direct channel. So their proprietary system is not, cannot be purchased from third parties or resellers. The deployment services also come from Bentley Systems, which owns ProjectWise. And we have a letter on file, it's in the board packet, certifying that they are a manufacturer direct vendor. Now, both the DWR and Metropolitan use ProjectWise as their engineering document management system. There are approximately already about 14,000 documents in ProjectWise, stemming from the days before the DCA was formed, that are located at the DWR and Metropolitan. So buying another solution would create a technical incompatibility with the systems already in use. It's also aligned with Metropolitan's Administrative Code, Section 8140, which permits sole source agreements when the software from different manufacturers will not be as compatible as the software from the original manufacturer. The negotiations for a final contract will take a few weeks, and we expect that the deployment should take about 6 to 9 months, depending on how fast the engineering process ramps up. And to recap, this funding request is for $150,000 for software licenses, deployment services, software assurance and maintenance, and total not to exceed $230,000 over 5 years for additional licenses and enhancements and fees over the years. The recommended action is to authorize the executive director to negotiate and execute a sole source agreement with Bentley Systems to provide for the ProjectWise cloud solution for initial contract amount of $150,000 and a not to exceed total of $230,000 over 5 years. That concludes my short presentation.
I'll make a motion to support the staff recommendation. I think that was an excellent presentation. It made it really clear. It's kind of like it's the only choice we have, and it's an excellent system, and it's very reasonably priced.
Well, one of the things I wanted to just mention is I was looking at, I actually researched Bentley to see what this is all about. And I think that point of having it be something that DWR is using and that Met is using, that's crucial just to have that across the board. So I would second that.
Motion to second. Anything further? Questions, comments? Those are, sorry? Oh, no. The public knows they can always approach us. And there being no approach. Those for motion say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Abstentions? Motion passes unanimously. Move right along to our next item on the agenda. Consider authorizing amendment of professional services agreement with the Hallmark Group, an amendment to our continuing contract. Jill?
That's correct. We had a board item back in, I think it was July, to authorize the Hallmark Group for 6 months and at an amount of a little over $1 million. 6 months is ending on January 31st. We don't have an executive director in place yet, and we don't have a program manager in place yet. So we really need these transitional services for a little bit longer. Hallmark has been controlling their costs and expenditures so we could actually extend for the first month at a no-cost extension. We have enough money left in the account, but I'm asking the average expenditure per month is about $170,000. However, I'm asking for 2 months beyond that, just in case we don't get the PM and the ED signed in place, so that in fact it's about 3 months worth of estimated additional money and time. So that's the request, if we could get that extension.
Great. Is there a motion? Any questions?
Well, I just have a quick question.
Yes.
If we are able to get people in place, is it possible to terminate these from the Hallmark contract?
Yes, we're issuing task orders, and they are only charging us as they spend the money and time. It could be that we don't use even any of it if we got everything in place by the end of February. But yes, this is just so I don't have to keep coming back. And
Sure, okay,
Right.
makes sense.
So if
So
we
moved,
already
yeah.
have 1 month in reserve that we haven't spent, you're asking, why don't we ask for just 1 more month? I'd rather do it less than more.
we do
Tell
that
me
by
why we shouldn't.
Well, we do that by task orders. My best guess is that your new executive director will be in place based on what we just talked about, February at the earliest. They will want to have input into selection of the program manager position, so that wouldn't be able to come to the board for authority until March. We have found that we don't issue contracts on the day that you authorize. Sometimes it takes quite a while to negotiate that contract. It could go into April easily. So this is my best guess at our minimum amount.
I'm kind of thinking, though, that if we're able to basically terminate this when needed, this at least gives us flexibility to have this thing extended out. So I would be in favor of having the longer term, because we can shorten it if need be.
Okay, so we can shorten it.
We can shorten it. We only give approvals a little bit at a time. You're giving me the authority doesn't mean that I'm going to use all the authority on the first day.
I guess the point I'm making is let's get this done sooner rather than later.
Right.
Oh, I totally concur.
All right, thanks.
Okay. All right, there's a motion,
I move we approve.
there's a second.
I'll second it.
Motion is second, then those for motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion passes unanimously. We'll move right along to the staff reports and announcements, the executive director's report.
In terms of the executive director's report, you have my written report. We do have one update. We managed to successfully negotiate a contract with Jacobs Engineering, which is our engineering design manager, at the end of last week. So it was after we put together the package, but it's really quite exciting. We had a review of the insurance requirements and the indemnity language, and so we've been shifting what we're asking our consultants to sign over what they saw in the RFQs, and there's been a whole lot of discussion that ensued after doing that. And to have the first one signed means that we can use that as the template going forward with the others. So we're hoping that we have 7 other contracts you all have authorized, 1 to the geotechnical, Fugro, the 3 for real estate, and the 3 for the surveying right-of-way services. So we're hoping we can use that template and get a bunch signed quickly over the next few weeks.
Good. That's quite an accomplishment.
Any questions?
Just a second, I'm looking at
Okay,
my
move right
notes.
along to general counsel's report.
There's a written report, and I'm happy to answer any questions. I will just note that when you use templates, part of the issue is you have different companies, and so it does take some time on these complicated and large contracts to go back and forth to do it correctly so that we don't make mistakes. And so we are working to move quickly, but in an efficient and good way.
Appreciate it.
Done? Questions? I think it's time. We'll move right on to the treasurer's report.
Thank you, Chair Estromera. I have a written report in your packet. I don't have any changes to the written report. I do want to just highlight that for the financial statements, we've added a couple of reports at the end, which are budget versus actuals, cut a couple of different ways so you can kind of see how expenditures are coming in. And so we'll be providing those to you on a monthly basis. And then subsequent to December 31st, 2018, on which these statements were based. The DCA invoice number 3 was submitted December 5th, and we did receive payment from the state controller on January 10th, and DCA invoice number 4 was submitted on January 9th. So we do continue to do that work.
Any questions, Jim?
No. Thank you, Jim.
Okay, we'll move right along to no verbal reports. Future agenda items, I don't think we have any because we want to adjourn to the 31st of January, and we'll be reposting this same agenda. So we have no other agenda items to add than the one that we did today, continuing. Okay, so there's nothing further? We're then adjourned to the 31st.